Go to the next slide. Let's see what's on. Okay, all right. Okay, I missed that slide there. What is excellence, therefore? Excellence is to go beyond the average. Is to climb higher than the set standard, is to reach beyond the mark. Many daughters have done well, but you have excelled them all. Now, I want you to note the use of words in that verse. Many daughters have done well. Everybody say, well done. But then he says, you have excelled them all. In other words, excellence goes beyond well done. Excellence is not doing your work well. Excellence goes beyond doing your job well. Many daughters have done well, but you have excelled them all. Then Proverbs chapter 22 verse 29. Do you see a man who excels in all his work? He shall stand before kings and shall not stand before mere men. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He shall stand before kings and not before mere men. Or do you see a woman who does her work well? She shall stand before queens and not mere women. That's just to create gender balance. So what do we see from that verse? Number one, that excellence is observable. Say with me, excellence is observable. You can see it. Do you see a man? When somebody is excellent, what they do will be seen. You can't hide it. And I use an example from my childhood to illustrate this. When I was in primary school, we used to wear khaki attire. I don't know whether you did that here in Zimbabwe. For the men, we wore khaki shirt and khaki shorts. The British did that to you too? Okay. Okay, they did it to us back home. Thank God for the British. You know, anytime I go to that tiny island and consider what they did to all of us, you know, I get impressed. I don't get mad. I get impressed that this tiny island could make us wear khaki. But in primary school, we used to wear khaki shorts and khaki shirts. And we used to have physical education, which we call PE. Oh, it happened here too? Okay. And we used to wear PE shorts, which normally would be green or blue with a white stripe on the side. And normally on days when we had physical education, because we didn't have changing rooms in our school, you had to wear your PE pants and then wear your shorts on top of it, so that when you go for physical education, you take off your khaki shorts and you have your PE, and afterwards you sweat into it and still wear your khaki shorts back on. That's how we did it. But once in a while, you will find people who go to school and their PE underwear, the PE pants, would have extended beyond their khaki shorts. And when they went to school, you see the green PE underwear showing, and everybody will be pointing and laughing at them. That is how excellence is. The PE pants has excelled the khaki shorts. And it's observable. It's observable. Do you see a man who excels in his way? When you excel, you stretch out beyond the limits. And people will see it. Because you always go beyond the mark. Excellence is observable. It can't be hidden. Secondly, excellence relates to what we do. Do you see a man who excels in his work? So you can't tell me you have an excellent spirit and work in a shoddy manner. I know excellence is a spirit, and we'll talk about that later, but it must be seen. What is a spirit which has no manifestation? And the word became flesh and dwelt amongst men. And we beheld his glory. We couldn't see the glory when it was the word. It was when it became observable that we saw the glory. So yes, excellence can be a spirit, but it must be observable. And if it's not observed, it's not there. And how can it be observed? In what you do. Do you see a man who excels in what he does? Third, excellence brings us out of obscurity. He shall stand before kings. Excellence will promote you. Excellence releases promotion. You can't be excellent and still be down there. All of you who have been crying and believing God for promotion, just be excellent, promotion will follow you. How do you know you are excellent? If you go to tell your boss you are quitting your job, and he asks, when? You're not excellent. Because if you are excellent, he wants to keep you. Do you see a man who excels in his work? Is observable. It relates to what we do, brings us out of obscurity, and releases promotion. Excellence is a spirit. Daniel chapter 5, verse 12. I intentionally talked about its manifestation before I talked about the spirit of excellence. Daniel chapter 5, verse 12. Now, most of us know about Daniel. We know his prayer life. We know how God protected him from wicked conspiracy, and how God protected his friends. But listen to what the Bible says about Daniel and a description of Daniel. It says, inasmuch as an excellent spirit, knowledge, understanding, interpreting dreams, solving riddles, and explaining enigmas were found in this Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will give the interpretation.